The internet, it's a weird place. In the modern day and age of the internet, where almost every second person is an influencer, every video is an ad, and almost every image is retouched, how do you continue to love and appreciate your body for what it truly is? And how do you stop yourself from picking apart every single one of those insecurities? How do you stay true to you? Now, this is something I've been really struggling with in the last 2 years. I've been thin all my life, but the first 13 years, I couldn't care less. The next 7 years, the world would not stop reminding me of it. And then I spent the next 6 years doing everything in my power to change it. And now that I'm finally learning to feel confident in my own skin and appreciate my body for what it truly is, it only makes me wonder how so many of us spend so much of our time trying to fit in. How we're taught growing up that the lower the number on the scale is equal to your healthiest self. Wanting to look like influencers we see online, trying to achieve the acceptable standards of body goals, which in most cases is always excess. Butter textured skin, no open pores, no cellulite, no stretch marks, no acne. Basically, a Barbie or a Kardashian, but nothing in between. And while I'm in no way judging any of those people that do whatever it is to their body, this video is a little reminder for those days where you are questioning everything that makes you you. If you are a girl in your 20s, you most definitely at some point in life have looked at yourself in the mirror dissatisfied with what you see. And while life is tough as is, we put all of this added amounts of pressure on ourselves to look a certain way because the internet makes you feel like something is not quite right with you. We take all of that pressure and we join the gym or start that diet, hoping that losing or gaining those extra kilograms will finally make you feel like you belong. But the truth is that you will never be able to look like them. And you'll soon realize that you don't need to either. I joined the gym with the sole intention to gain weight because I could not listen to one more person tell me how skinny I was. So while working out is a very important part of my life now, it did not always start like that. And while you think that people that post workouts online and talk about health and fitness have their abs in order, that's not always the case. I stopped posting on Instagram a while ago, and not because I stopped believing in health and fitness, but because I couldn't be genuine and authentic to myself anymore. In between trying to provide value and sticking to trends, I actually forgot why I started in the first place. I used to post every day, all day. Daily check-ins, health and life updates, workouts, the whole deal. And while I loved most of it, there were the bits that I and most people never really talk about. One of the biggest struggles that I've had with my health was losing weight as soon as I fell sick, and then having to constantly eat more and overeat to try to gain that weight back. If I fall sick tomorrow, there is a 99.99% chance that I will be 1 kg lighter tomorrow. And while that sounds like an absolute dream to a lot of you, the reality is quite the opposite. It didn't matter if I was posting something you really needed to hear or anything that actually had value, as long as I looked a certain way and stuck a TikTok trending song on it, I most definitely was doing a good job. I quickly started to feel that I was spending too much of my time trying to compare my body to theirs online, pitting my insecurities to their perfections, only to realize that they aren't actually all that perfect. What you and I see is a highlight reel of secure days, of highly produced images, of extremely photoshopped portraits, of flexed poses, expensive procedures and great lighting. Basically everything they want you to see and believe. But what you don't see is low self-esteem days, bad lighting, no motivation, terrible acne, textured skin, sucked in stomachs, binge eating, depression, eating disorders, and everything they need to go through in order to fit that acceptable body standard. Back in the 1900s, having a slim waist and a big chest was considered to be the ideal body goal. A few years ago, having a pencil body was considered to be it. Then came the need for the hourglass figure, long legs, BBLs, thigh gaps, and now curves are coming back. So in case you can't already tell, you are never going to have it all. But you do get to decide if you wish to keep up with the ever so changing body standards. if you wish to give the internet and random strangers on it the power to tell you what you should look like, how much you should weigh, and what healthy looks like on you. I decided very recently that nobody knows my body the way I do. Nobody knows what's healthy for me, if I need to have six-pack abs or big boobs or a slim waist. The only person that truly knows what's working for me is me. And while you can spend a lot of your time, energy, and even money trying to look like those that you follow online, I can almost guarantee that that is not going to make you feel better about yourself. Research shows that we spend over 6 hours of our day scrolling on the internet, looking for what's hot this week, what isn't, what's trending, who's made it on the magazine covers, who has the most amount of followers. And while this may not seem to be a problem, we have actually convinced ourselves that the internet is holy grail, to accept the trends, to be a part of them, and to never ever question them. The internet has no place for flaws or insecurities, but the world does. And I think now is the time we learn to appreciate the cellulite, the stretch marks, the acne scars, hip dips, the thigh gaps. Use that unfollow or mute button to anyone that makes you question it. And work towards genuinely improving your relationship with yourself, your body, and your mind, so that you are unaffected by the constantly changing body standards. How you look is in fact one of the least interesting things about you. Your mind, your health, your self-confidence, that's the stuff that's never going to be out of fashion. You'll always be too big, too thin, too fat, too small, too manly, too bulky, too curvy for them. That's exactly why you need to do this for you. You are exactly who you need to be and how you need to look, and you will never be able to look like them.